Hi, everybody. This is Fatih from Istanbul, Turkey. By profession, I'm tour guide living and working generally in Istanbul, and sometimes I'm guiding across Turkey. I have been guiding since 2012. Thank you by giving this opportunity to speak with you, to share my opinions and experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic period. First, I would like to start story that, as tour guides, how we, let's say, start to have some fears about this pandemic. Actually, first time I met with COVID when some of my Chinese-speaking tour guides stopped receiving visitors from China. Okay, so then it became discussion among us. So what they are gonna do when Chinese visitors stop coming to Turkey, how they are able to survive, and how does it take, how much time it takes. So that's the first time COVID becomes our topic among our discussions in our society, tour guide society. And countries follow each other like Italy, Spain, France, and then we realize that it is something really big that and will affect all tourism industry and connected industries besides tourism. First, we were not thinking that I don't know why it came to my mind, by the way, or our minds. Yeah, maybe the COVID-19 will affect some countries that appeared in these countries, but will not affect Turkey. So what we are gonna do that, yes, we will forget for some months, like couple of months, to receive incoming tourists, but we will concentrate to the tourists that we have in Turkey. So like Turkish tourists, we will work with Turkish tourists. But then Corona came to Turkey too, and then day by day the numbers started to increase as well. Then measurement started, and just we kind of got shocked that then what we are gonna do. So we are not a kind of position, or we don't have a, let's say, profession that like open our shop and at least try to do something and spend time, let's say, get rid of from the news. But our profession is not like that, directly connected with the tourism. And if there is nobody goes to have a fun, to have a, let's say, travel, to have a trip, it directly cut all the connections and all the work that you do. So it became for the tourism and tourism connected industries completely catastrophic. Okay, as a person that I call myself as a practicing person, like believe that whatever happens, good or bad, comes from God Almighty. Personally, with my family, with my belief, I try to keep myself alive. Can be like this issue can be politic, because some people, some experts, they talk about also this was created. No matter if it is created or came from God Almighty, at the end, I personally believe that Allah gave a permission, so that's why it happened. So at least with this belief, with the faith and destiny belief, I try to survive myself. But at the beginning, we were not thinking as a tourism industry like the sector industry can survive. At the end, it will open again, and partially it was open, especially for Turkey. By 13 June, Turkey opened all the borders without asking PCR test. Okay, and I guess in that point, Turkey realized that it's not related with like cutting the closing the borders. It's not something local. Like virus is everywhere. It doesn't attach to some certain areas or certain countries. Maybe at the beginning, if the world will more aware of this virus, it could be, let's say, more controlled. But I guess it was too late. And I guess Turkish government that time also they realized that it was too late to close the borders, to put some border limits. It will not be working. That's what I personally realized from the government and media. And still, actually, in Turkey, even today, all borders are open, and there is no, let's say, border or barrier, for the tourism. Still, people are coming here. But of course, what Turkish government realized that, let's try to discover, where this virus, spreading. So in that point, temporary restaurants open, and by coming with the coming of the winter, they start to again close the restaurants, because when people eat inside, without masks and everything, so then it's easy to be affected, from the virus. So again, if we come back to personal experience that I have with the opening of the season again, at least by having 1 week, sorry, 1 day a tour in a week, or sometimes 2 days, or at least in 1 month, for a couple of days to have a tour, little bit, let's say, motivated myself. Yes, we'll back, again, good days. So we will be guiding again. So we will be seeing, our colleagues, our tour guide members, in the museums, on the streets, and we again, we greet each other. We will again, have many messages that, hey, there's a tour. Who's gonna take this in our WhatsApp groups? So little bit we found the motivation, but again, with the increasing of the numbers, might be, as a second way. Again, we postpone these hopes, for the next seasons. Of course, now only we have messages in our WhatsApp group that like about the forecast. Hey, what do you think? Who had a tour, last month? So quite silent. Sometimes, in 1 day we have in our WhatsApp groups, I mean, maybe more than 1,000 messages. Now the message, only like 10, 15, 20, only with some difficulties. And some of our tour guides, they guided themselves to other industries, and they started to share their new, let's say, working areas. Look, what I'm doing now, I'm preparing, something, some necklace, with some flowers, some materials, some metal stuff. I mean, so please support me. This kind of stories, start to be appear in our WhatsApp group. On the other hand, of course, we are connected with the like tour agencies as tour guides. As tour guides, generally we are independent in Turkey, generally, but the tour agencies, they have they have to pay rent. They have to pay their, let's say, workers. So it becomes, we realize that, more difficult for them. So in that point, by not having like cost every month, and to not to pay everybody as a worker in your working let's say business, in that point I guess tour guides are more comfortable. But of course, the work completely gone, and there is no income, and people started to get some credits from the banks, of course they faced with some difficulties. But in comparison with the tour agencies or like big bus companies, I mean, I guess in that point, position of the tour guide in these difficulties less, more lighter than the other positions in the industry. And how I actually motivate myself in that crisis period, I guess one of the most important thing is definitely family. When lockdown happened, I came my hometown. Like generally my other colleagues, they went their hometowns, because here's a Turkey. The culture is a little bit different here. People quite connected with their family members. If they have some difficulties, generally they help each other. They connect with the family members. So first 3 months, actually, March, April, and May, I completely passed my life, in this 3 months with my family, and they supported me a lot, thanks to God Almighty. But in that point, I really realized that, if we keep following media, definitely it kills our psychology as well. There is still, life, outside. So I shouldn't be staying, more inside, at home only, just going to market, no, definitely not work, so I should be doing something. Also, I'm one of the member of one of the cultural center in Turkey. So I try to give more time. I try to dedicate more my time, to do voluntary services, to do something that, again, it's related with the tourism. But that time, as I said, by the opening of the international borders for flights and tourists, Turkey, although we don't have too much tourists, at least, in our cultural center, somebody comes, have their questions, related with the Turkey, the kind of like center that help people who are coming from outside Turkey, try to give their try to answer their questions and try to guide them, in terms of their needs. So at least for very few things, I found a position to pass time with people. Okay, to do something. I mean, and then I guess it developed my motivation in a better position. And what I started to do, I started to invite my friends, my tour guide friends, in this cultural center. And then I guess we push each other. And then with this, like talks in our center or open areas, outdoor areas, I push myself and I push also other of my friends, to come together by keeping social distance. Because that's what I realized. I mean, if we are staying at home by following the media or keeping, ourselves in a covered areas, because we are tour guide, we are outdoor people, we are not easy people, to stay at home and like always, connected with the let's say TV or Instagram or social media and laptops, it doesn't work for us generally. So we are more outdoor person. So at least we try to do something, outside with just simple meetings, simple talks, And I personally believe that, it helped us a lot, to keep our motivation in a certain level. For now, we are hopeful with the vaccine, but we are not sure that, how again, the economy and tourism activities will be normalized at least with certain limited capacity. There is no idea. I mean, everybody talks, from different angles with different opinions. It might say, more than a year more, or maybe long time, we will not be normalized. So that's why I guess many of our tour guides will be talking also. We will be thinking about to move another industries, to do something different. Actually, not only dependent only one position, one profession. I guess for this problematic, they will think, to do something different. And the problematic way of the tourism in Turkey, by the way, it's quite wavy. Political discussions, affect us a lot. Um, Unfortunately, in the past, some terrorist attacks, affected a lot. 2014, right? Some crazy people attack, the tourists just before the Blue Mosque, and this is one of the steps that why some of foreigners stop coming to Turkey, right? So very, very, very sorry about this ways. Sometimes political discussions. Unfortunately, political discussions with Germany, Netherlands, or some of European countries quite affect this sector. So that's why generally people are not volunteer to be in this sector, at least to do only tourism. They are more thinking that wide screen, like wide ankle. Okay, I will do tourism, but what can be my insurance? If there is a problem in tourism. Okay, and unfortunately, and by being a tour guide of this country and by being a citizen of this country, we believe that media is doing something bad for our country. Um, Actually, if this media sometimes talk with people who come this country, who visit the local people here, who meet with the real culture here, I guess they will be deleting what they did in their newspapers. Unfortunately, media is creating barriers. Yeah, there are good people and bad people everywhere, but reality more than what they show, what they depict in media. Like people are quite welcoming here. People really would love to have some people from different countries and share their food. Uh, Even if they don't know language, anything that try to little bit connect with these people. So it's something really unique, in the Middle East or some Eastern countries. Okay, so I guess still this is unforgotten part of this world, this Middle East world. Um, Understanding develops respect, okay, and communication brings the understanding. So I guess in that point, we should follow this scala by being a visitor in Turkey and communicating with local, understanding them, and we will definitely finalize this scala, with respect and with love. That's, I guess, most important thing. By the way, I'm not only judging, the Western media. Sometimes, I mean, Turkish media does something a little bad. I mean, like if you look at for example, sometimes Turkish media, Greeks or Greeks and Turks, are the biggest enemies in the world. Okay, yeah, in certain discussions, definitely, sometimes like very critical points. But in reality, I don't have with my tens of friends, Greek friends, in my life. I don't have people coming from, any problem, people coming from Greece. Sometimes I see some brothers, I really would like to hug them. I mean, like such a close culture, and we are all human beings. And so I guess we need, the tourism of Turkey, tourism of Middle East. The future of the Middle East needs, this good promotion in media. Okay, definitely, we will come much better points, by connecting with each other, by understanding each other. That's actually my also humble request, for people that who listening us, who are watching us. So that's the basically things that I wanted to share with you.